Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Friday, January 12th. It is 6:24 right now. Market's going to open in about 6 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. It's got a couple of things here to update and we should be good to go. A few more things here. All right, looks like we are good to go. Now let me go ahead and send this link out to you guys here in the premium. There we go. Looks like we are good to go. So I'll get a few moments for people to make their way in. And as people join in, I'm going to go ahead and start market liquidity over here on our liquidity chart. So I'll start off with the daily. There, go down to the 8-hour. Go down to the 4-hour. Go down to the 2-hour. Down to the 1-hour. Down to the 30-minute. Changes to red. Down to the 15. Down to the 10. And it looks like we're good to go. All right, guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Friday, January 12th. It is 6:27 right now. Market's going to open in about 30 minutes. Happy Friday, everyone. You guys can see a lot of movement here pre-market due to the news this morning. As you guys can see, closest level of liquidity is right here. It's probably going to get hit at 37,930. That's going to be the first level. The next level is going to be above, a bit higher at 37,998 over here. So this first level already got hit and it looks like already blasted right through the TP pre-market. So that's already done with. Next level is going to be up here and the lower level is going to be down here at 37,724. So there goes the levels of liquidity right there. Here's our clean chart. I'm going to mark up 6:30, mark up 8 o'clock. Go on the 4-hour real quick, see if there's any structure here for us to draw up. Same structure from yesterday. Price is pushing up to it. Let's go down to the 1-hour. Some more structure right here. And right there. All right, so price is currently pushing up to the 1-hour and 4-hour resistance, as you guys can see up here. When market opens, price can easily just bounce off this area here. So you might see price push up, reject off here and come back down. That's what might happen there. Going over here to our main chart. So for our main chart, we had news this morning, news at 5:30. News at 7 o'clock. So 5:30 and 7 o'clock. Obviously, you guys can see the news candle over here at 5:30. It's this big green candle. The news was negative, so price might be correcting back down on market open. So price might come up to this point here. This is pretty much what I see happening. Price push up to the resistance and then come right back down. Because the news is negative, price shouldn't have pushed up like that, and it's pushed up super heavily. So expect price to possibly come back down on market open. And we have some more news over here at 7 o'clock, I believe. Yeah, it's about it. 7 o'clock. So we had news at 5:30, news at 7 o'clock, and that's pretty much it for today. Again, news over here at negative news at 5:30. So all this is manipulation to the upside. And when market opens over here, you're probably going to see price come down super heavy. So, all right, guys, market is now open. So let's see what happens here. Price is pushing up to this resistance point. Like I mentioned, I wouldn't be surprised if the price swings right off it and comes right back down, just like I marked up right here. So we had opening price right there. We had open price right there. The resistance lines up with the sessions above too. So you can see there's the Asia high, London high, and New York high above right here. And that's pretty much where the resistance is sitting. So price can easily just bounce off those points and come right back down. So we'll see what happens here. Of course, I'm going to wait for an actual entry. I'm not just going to take anything speculative, but if you guys do want to take something speculative, that's something that you guys can look out for. Rejection off this area up here. ATR is currently 19 right now, so it's not horrible, but it's not super high either. Exactly. Yeah, Maddie said V1 off resistance into a V3 correction down to news price. That's exactly what I'm looking for too, Maddie. Exactly what I'm looking for. So let's go ahead and see where this plays through. All right, so I'm not gonna rush anything. I'm just gonna wait for something here to be valid. Right here, you can see there's a strong green candle on open. So this opening candle here is actually the breakout version 1. So if anybody's looking to take the breakout version 1, this would have been the entry right there. Looks like it already hit. So if anybody caught the breakout version 1, I wouldn't have taken it because it's right at the sessions, as you can see right here. But this shows the breakout version 1 right here. We had a bullish candle right here. Trend was bullish. A strong green candle that closed off right here at 6:30. And obviously that'd be the entry for the breakout version 1. So for anybody who's looking to take the breakout version 1, I typically don't take it. So it doesn't really count as one of the official entries that I normally take. But if anybody wants to take it, that'd be the entry right there. So, all right, that's about it with the breakout version 1. Again, I think this area is super tricky. I think buys here are it's a really tricky area. So just be careful if anybody's looking to take anything here. Let's see. Nick said that the all-time high is at 83,113. Let me check on the 4-hour time frame. Yeah, all-time high is exactly what you mentioned. 83,113. So price might be pushing up to that point. That's actually where the resistance is too. So that's pretty much where I drew resistance. So if price gets past this higher point right here, it's going to establish a new higher high. Or a new high in general. So we'll see. But again, I'm going to be careful because the news here was negative. So it was high impact news. We had producer price index PPI month over month. It was negative, high impact. Everything was negative. It's just indicating that inflation is going up. So I mean, that's pretty much what it's indicating. Inflation is going up, price should not be going up, So eventually I think price is going to crash back down. I think this is all just, it's a gimmick for price to push up. It's pretty much going against retail sentiment because everybody here is waiting for it to come down, but it just keeps pushing up to stop everybody out. So just be careful. We have a V1 pattern right here, as you guys can see. So I'll be looking for a possible, actually, there's no V1 pattern here because this candle over here kind of pushed up higher. This would have been a V1 pattern, but this third candle right here pushed up a bit higher and it pretty much invalidated the V1 pattern right there because this was a V1 pattern. This candle pushed up and it's no longer a V1 pattern. Let's check CNBC real quick. All right, breaking news over here from CNBC. Let's see. Stocks should will change Friday as earnings season kicks off. Yeah, not too much, just typical news right here. Not really news about the inflation news earlier. So we'll see how this reacts to it. Anyways, retail sentiment is currently 84% short. This indicates that 84% of retail traders are currently selling right now. Typically, we want to do the opposite and buy, but it's really tricky where it's currently at right now because of the news from this morning. Just because the news was negative doesn't mean that price necessarily has to come down, at least not just yet. But you know, if you're following typical fundamentals, price should come down because the news was negative. Looking over here at the fundamentals are currently at 80 points, so they're currently bullish right now. They're not very strong bullish, but they are bullish. They need to be above 100 points and consistently above that for it to be very bullish. Looking over here at the news for today, we have one more news event at 7 o'clock, which is medium impact. We have the Fed speaking and we have balance of trade. That's pretty much it. You can see right here, price is just consolidating between the sessions. So what do you think is going to happen after this? Price is going to break out, right? It's going to break out to the bottom or it's going to break out to the top. We don't know what direction yet, but it's going to break out in one direction. So we'll see. It's just churning right now. So right now, price is going back and forth. It's going to churn buyers and sellers in the market. People are going to buy, people are going to sell, and eventually wherever is caught with the short end of the stick is going to get stopped out. Yeah, Kevin said that a momentum pullback scalp hit, but it was close to the sessions. Yeah, I probably would have skipped that one, but let's see where it was. Yeah, the levels are actually really close right now. The ATR is picking up. It's at 21 now. So price pushed up right here, retraced down to this point. The momentum pullback scalp would have happened right here, like right at the session. So I would have skipped it personally because it was too way too close, but it did play through. So if anybody caught that, you know, nice work. Thanks, Kevin, for mentioning that. All right, so we still have opportunity here for the breakout V3. Actually, we don't. Never mind, I take that back. I keep thinking back to this right here, but I just remember that this high right here kind of screwed up the pattern for us. So you can see where price is sitting. It's sitting between these two sessions. This is also the resistance. So price is actually sitting in between the 4-hour resistance and the 1-hour resistance. So this upper level is a 4-hour resistance, and the one below it is the 1-hour. They're like literally right next to each other. So that's basically where price is bouncing between. All right, so again, we're just gonna wait. Nothing for us to take here, nothing for us to follow. Price is pretty much just sitting in between this area. I'm hoping that when price pushes up right here, it establishes another V1 variation. So I need that V1 pattern right here, double body, double wick, and then hopefully it comes down from that point here and we can take that sell. Or, I mean, if price pushes up, that's fine too. All right, perfect. So we got a double body right here. We just need this candle to close red. If it closes red, this will be a double body rejection, V1 pattern. I mean, technically, this is a V1 variation. So if anybody wants to take this trade here as a V1, I mean, you can, but I'm not going to take it because it's right at the sessions, right? It's too tricky for me right here. But this does meet my criteria. There's a V1 variation right here with a pending sell signal. It's rejecting off this structure. The only problem is that the trend is bullish. So I wouldn't really take any V1s for a sell here. I would use it as a confluence, but I wouldn't take it as a standalone V1. Yeah, it's right at the red flag. There's no reason to take that risky trade right there. You guys got to keep in mind, today's Friday. Friday's one of the riskier days to trade. Monday and Friday are always the riskier days to trade because on Monday, people are re-entering the market from the weekend. And on Friday, people are exiting the market for the weekend. So just keep that in mind, guys. And I know a lot of people forget It's just like Trap Tuesday, right? You want to be careful on certain days trading because we know historically these days are usually the riskier days to trade. And also Monday is MLK. So just keep that in mind, guys. There's not going to be any trading on Monday. Monday is Martin Luther King Day. And the banks are closed. Banks are closed, market's closed. The market will probably be moving a little bit before like 9 a.m. and then it's going to close completely. So I wouldn't even risk it. I've lost many accounts trading MLK Day on accident. I just got FOMO. I woke up in the morning, I saw the market was moving, and I was like, oh, I could get one trade in. As soon as I put the trade in, the market froze, and there goes my FTMO accounts. So I lost like I think four FTMO accounts about 2 years ago trading MLK. So I don't recommend anybody trades that day because you're gonna forget. You're not gonna look at the time, and you're gonna trade, and then you're gonna be stuck in that trade, and you're gonna be like, oh crap, the market's frozen. That's exactly what happened to me. I was trading at like 8:30, and I was like, okay, the market's gonna stay open for at least 30 more minutes. I took a scalp, and the market just got flat, and then I was stuck in that position, and then the market closed. And then the next day, I got an email, or that same night, I got an email from FTMO, and they said I violated the rules because I traded during a weekend. If you guys trade during if the market closes, so for example, if you trade a regular account on Friday and the market closes, or if you trade on a holiday and the market closes, that's considered a weekend. So obviously, if you have a regular account, you can't trade over weekends, right? So don't bother risking it, guys. I've lost an account and FTMO doesn't budge with it. Like I was funded with them, they were like, no, we're not gonna budge because you they couldn't make any exceptions for me, which sucked, but it was okay. I got another account right after, and I just learned from that mistake. So, all right, there's no entries here yet. The V1 pattern still hasn't came up. Again, price is still climbing up, but it's really just going back and forth between the sessions over here. Maul said it's not fair. I mean, technically it is because it's part of the rules and I should have followed them. So the thing with like in general that I feel like that that we should or that I personally do is I always take responsibility for everything. It doesn't matter if it's my fault or not my fault. I always take responsibility. It just makes things a whole lot easier instead of placing the blame on someone, right? And I think if you guys like find hardship with a lot of things, I think that's something that you guys should probably take into consideration too. Because I think as soon as I stop putting blame on anybody, like if you guys remember before when we first started the group, there's a couple people who used to help me, like Aaron. If you guys remember Aaron, the guy who used to cough on the live session, coughing Aaron, he used to make a lot of mistakes when he would like mentor people or like run the group or try to do some live sessions. And then as soon as I started taking responsibility for it, even though it wasn't my fault, that's kind of when things got better in the group. So just in general, that's how I take life. I take responsibility for pretty much everything. If I get slippage on a trade and I get negative profits, I take responsibility for it. If like trading view here is frozen, take responsibility for it. That's typically what I do. Because if you're looking to blame the broker, you're looking to blame the funding company, you're never going to get better, right? You see a lot of people who fail accounts on FTMO and they want to blame someone or something, right? They want to blame the strategy, they want to blame the mentor, they want to blame FTMO, they want to blame slippage, they want to blame laggy charts. It was your fault, bro. You were trading it. So that's just a word of advice that I kind of recommend for you guys. If that's your problem, if like, you're always playing the blame game. Anyways, so Vimal said, you just look at the calendar, Vimal, it's on the calendar for FTMO. So there's an economic calendar. I mean, you could look at any economic calendar and it'll tell you the bank's closed. So I don't think it really matters where you're located. If you're in the US, if you're in the UK, if you're in India, right? We have traders from India. It doesn't really make a difference. So if you go over here to Forex Factory, and then you look over here on Monday, it says right here, bank holiday for the US. You don't even have to know it's MLK Day. It just says bank holiday for the US. So if you just look anywhere. It doesn't matter if you know the holiday. You just look at the calendar for the economic news, and if it's closed for US or any other country, or usually it's this US. If it's closed, then it's markets are closed. So that's how you would know. I know it sucks. It sucks that I lost my accounts, but then I learned from it. Now I don't trade news at all, or I don't trade holidays at all. So guys, there was a sell signal right here, but no entry. This is a V1 pattern, but it's right at the session, so I wouldn't have taken it. But this is a V1 that we would have looked for and we would have possibly taken. Again, it's just right at the session, so it's not one that I would personally take. But this here would meet the criteria again for the V1. So you can see over here, we had a V1 pattern double body rejection pending buy signal. The previous high low is right here, and this here would have went straight to your TP. If you took this as a V1 entry, this is actually a V1 that I would have taken if it wasn't at the sessions. It was touching the session, so obviously I wouldn't have taken it. But this V1 over here would have been perfect. It just met my criteria exactly how I'd look for it. Trend was bullish, retail sentiment was bullish, trend meter is bullish, everything was pointing towards buy. You had the double body rejection, obviously it went straight to its full TP right there. So, I mean, if anybody took it, nice work. If you didn't, it's fine. You know, my main goal for this year is to be more consistent. I was pretty consistent last year. We had like an 89.6% win rate last year for the entire year of 2023. This year, I'm aiming for something higher because if I can avoid more losses, so let's see how many losses I took last year. A lot of those losses could have been avoided. You know, I put notes in my spreadsheet, but a lot of the losses. So we had 231 wins and 28 losses. I want to cut those losses down to maybe like down to 20, if not less. So if I can do that, this will recoup a lot of profits that I lost from this. So like less trades, but higher probability moves, you know, A+ setups. It's just going to make more sense for all of us. And also with the you guys who are following my trades, basically whenever I take an official trade here, it's almost guaranteed to hit, right? There's no guarantees in trading, but with all the confluences that I'm looking at, these entries only come up so often. So this is beneficial for both of us. I mean, I'm going to mark up other entries. So if I see the other entries come up, I'll mark them up. I'll tell you it's risky, but the only ones I'm taking are the ones that meet my confluences and my criteria. So. Barack said, all my time here, it's been you. Didn't know someone has hosted for you before. Well, they didn't really host for me, but well, I mean, they didn't host the live sessions of Barack, but they hosted the mentoring sessions, or they tried to at least. I would still be on the mentoring session, but they would host it and wasn't good. So I don't really let anybody take over. A lot of people have tried to take over my mentoring sessions and stuff like that to help. You know, of course, people want to help me out, but I can't really be replaced, right? Like it's hard for someone to do my job because only I can see what I see on the charts, and it's hard for someone else to mimic that. But I mean, people try to help sometimes. All right, so again, guys, we are just waiting for another opportunity here. Kansas City got some early profits, thinking of calling it. Happy with his profits for the day, week, and withdrawals on Monday. Yeah, Kenny or Kenneth, if you're good with it, I just wrap it up. If you still want to hang out on here, you can, but yeah, I'd, for the most part, wrap it up. Let's see. All right, we got some team profits over here. We have Natasha. She took that V1. Total profit of 385 for the day. Nice work, Natasha. We have Johnny over here as well. One trade for the day, one and done. Total profit of 728, all wins. Nice work, Johnny. Yeah, congrats, team. I think you're getting your payout on Monday too, right? Also, we have Kenneth over here. So Kenneth locked in 300 on his first account, 855 on his second, 855 on his third, and 1,140 on his fourth account. All wins for the day. Nice work, Kenneth. All right, so those are the profits for today so far from everybody here in the group. Still waiting for our entry. We have a V1 pattern here setting up, but this V1 over here doesn't meet the criteria events. There's no structure over here for it to bounce off of. So there is a V1 pattern setting up, but it's right at the sessions, and also there's no confluence here. Vimal is asking if the buy side liquidity hit TP. Yes. So looks like the first level right there got hit. The next level right next to it also got hit. The third level, I would have skipped the third level because it just, is overextended at that point. So guys, whenever you guys are taking liquidity, if you guys have remembered, whenever I take it, I would only take the first level. If they're so close to each other, like they are right here, I would take the first level and then I would wait for it to kind of retrace down a little bit and then come back up. So this right here pushed up, came down. If this came up right here, I would have been okay taking it, but since it didn't touch it, it wouldn't have filled. I wouldn't take it right away. So if you're taking one, just finish up that move, let it come back for retracement, then come back up for another touch. Let's see, Vimal said, I don't know how to take liquidity on MC4. I'm getting the levels wrong. Well, whenever I take liquidity, I just take it manually. I never put a pending order for liquidity because you can't, it's kind of impossible to set it up because of the pricing is never going to be the same. So typically if I'm taking liquidity, I'm just watching it. And as soon as price gets near, I just hit buy and it goes straight through. Because if there's liquidity getting hit, it's going to blast right through it. It's not usually like a quick hit. It goes usually past it and further. Like for example, here, you could like enter as soon as it touches the line and it shoots right through, right? Same with this, you enter as soon as it touches the line and it shoots right through. I think that's how everybody does it. I don't know anybody that does liquidity with pending order unless you're trading on TradingView, because this is the only way you can trade directly on that price point, unless you're trading on TopStep or TradeObate. So if you're trading on TradingView or TradeObate, you can, but otherwise it's like almost impossible to do on MC4. You just have to do it manually with the quick trade manager. All right, so we currently don't have anything here right now, guys. Price is still kind of going back and forth. You can see price finally rejected off the 4-hour and 1-hour resistance level right here. It pretty much did exactly what I drew earlier. So if you guys saw my drawing from earlier, I mentioned this, and it did exactly that. So it's a pretty smooth move, that M pattern that I showed you guys, and it came right back down. So we'll see if price ends up coming back down further or if it corrects back up. There's no telling what's really going to happen here. This V1 pattern is not in line, so the levels are not lined up and the body's not lined up. So personally, I would actually want price to come down a little further, establish another V1 pattern, or I wouldn't mind having a V1 actually come up here. So I wouldn't mind if price kind of like goes sideways here for a bit, provides a V1 pattern, and then comes up, right? I'm looking for two different entries here. I'm looking for a V1 pattern, and I'm also looking for a V3 continuation to the upside. So I'm okay with price kind of going sideways here for a little bit. The reason why I wanted to go sideways is because I need this low to be established. So I can't let it come down just yet. If it comes down right now, it's too quick. This lower low is just going to get pushed down further. So I need about like 4 or 5 candles here to pass. Once 4 or 5 candles pass, then I'm okay with the price coming down further, because at that point it'll establish a lower another low there, and we can take a V1 pattern. Here, let's see. Craig said 3% gain on his FTMO funded, leaving that for the payout on the 26th. Nice work, Craig. Yeah. So guys, just another reminder, my strategy for if you guys are funded, what I'd recommend is get funded, take just a couple trades, maybe even just one trade, so you're in profit, request your payout, get your refund, and then trade after that. Because what happens with a lot of people is they'll get funded and they won't even get a first payout, which is crazy. Because they start to get greedy, right? They start to change their trading style. They start to take random trades. They take risky trades. They change their whole game plan from how they got funded to when they're funded. Because then they think they're like hot shit at that point. They think they can just do everything, but they can't. It just messes up their entire game plan and trading plan. And then at that point, it's it's horrible. It's because I hate when that happens with people, because they work so hard to get funded, and then as soon as they get funded, they do something completely different and they just blow their account like in one day. That's kind of what happened with Steven, right? Are you here, Steven? Like Steven here, it was crazy. All he did for like two months, all he did was take the breakout. He passed, got funded. Immediately when he got his credentials for his funded account in Asia session, this dude trades Asia session. He never trades Asia session. And then he blew his account with like two trades because he traded Asia session and never um and didn't put a stop loss. I'm like, dude, you've never traded Asia session and you've never not used a stop loss. And he's like, oh, I thought I could trade on my own now just because he got funded. So he traded on his own, blew his account, and I don't think he's ever recovered from that. So don't be like Steven, guys. It's okay to make a mistake, but you got to recover from it. At this point, now Steven's joining a different group like every single week. It's like he's not here right now. He's still in our group, but he's joining a different group every week. He's trying all these algos. He's trying signal services, and he just keeps blowing account every single week, which I mean, it's beyond me. You can't really help somebody that doesn't want help, right? So don't fall into that trap where you do really well and then you just lose your mind and you start to do all this like random stuff. I think Steven's been like 20 groups since that happened. He's looking for like a golden strategy or a golden group to be with, but if he would just stick with us and stick to what he was doing before, he'd be perfectly fine. I mean, it sucks. Steven's been a member for the group for a while, and this isn't to down talk him. It's just to show awareness that this happens to a lot of people. Yeah, Kenneth said that it even happened to him. So that happened to Kenneth. He got funded, and then as soon as he got funded, he did his own thing, and which is fine. You can do your own thing, but you should it's okay to do your own thing, but make sure that you did that when you got funded. You don't just do something completely different, like try a completely different strategy, or I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy. And I'm always looking out for the best of you, for the best for you guys. So like, I'm not going to point you guys in the wrong direction. Like, for example, here for my entries, I'm looking for quality entries because I want you guys to just have a bunch of wins. Like I want your funding challenge to look like this, right? Win, flat, win, flat, win, flat. I want you guys to pass your challenges like this. I don't want you to pass your challenges where you get a bunch of wins, bunch of losses, bunch of wins, bunch of losses, and then eventually you just get really lucky and it finally hits your profit target, right? I want to get you guys to that level of consistency and discipline where, I mean, you just follow your own rules. Yeah, exactly. Albert said he went through it, not worth it at all. Sometimes you just have to sometimes you just have to go through it to really understand because it's I don't know, trading is rough, guys. Like I make trading look super easy and simple, but trading is rough, especially when you're in your own head and your psychology is just all screwed up. Um, I'm sure a lot of you guys have been through that before, where your psychology is super screwed up and you just revenge trade every day and overtrade, and your psychology is just not there. Yeah, Nick said I think everyone's has done that once or twice. Yeah. The good thing is to get out of the cycle, right? You don't want to be in that cycle of just blowing accounts, buying another account, blowing account, buying another account. I think your main goal, guys, is to have at least an account for a month. I think that's the key thing. So if you guys have a problem with buying accounts, I would limit yourself to one account per month. It's gonna make you think, because if you blow your account too early in the month, then you're gonna have to think to yourself like, okay, what did I do wrong, or what can I do differently to prevent this from happening in the future? Um, a month is a long time, so if you can focus on not blowing that account for 1 month, it's gonna make it's gonna improve your trade psychology. Yeah, exactly. But Mal said he's looking to have accounts for life. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. I haven't blown an account in a while. And every time I blow an account, it's because of a technicality. Yeah, let's see. Andrew said, once I changed my mentality after Sean kept saying avoid losses, not chase wins. He hasn't had a single loss in January. Nice work, Drew. Yeah, so Drew over here is on a 100% win rate for January so far. He has no losses. He just focuses on quality entries and wins. That's pretty much it. And you guys can do the same thing. It's just a matter of getting out of your head. All right, so we got a V1 pattern here that's starting to set up. It's right at news though. So 7 o'clock is going to be news for the Fed. I think the Fed's going to be speaking Kashkari. So we got balance of trade, which is low impact, and we have Fed Kashkari speaking. So just be careful with your entries here, guys. Um, we'll just see if price reacts to his speaking. Sometimes price doesn't do anything, but we'll follow through. Yeah, Kenneth said the hardest part of trading is the psychology and the emotion behind it. Yeah, and I agree with you 100%. Nick said, I know he was a day before his payout on an account. He took a trade, lost it, revenge traded it, and lost his account because it went $1 over his daily drawdown. Yeah, and that always happens. It Yeah, it's happened like way too many times. I've seen it happen this to a ton of people. So the pattern here that I marked up, guys, it played out perfect, right? So you guys can see the news that I mentioned earlier this morning at 5:30. It was negative, right? So the news here was negative, price pushed up for no reason, and then now it's coming right back down. So this is the correction that we were looking for. It did exactly what we planned for it to do. The only problem here is that we have news now, so it's hard for us to take any entries at this point. We have news here in about a minute. And you can see here, price is coming right back down to opening price or back to news price right here. This is where the manipulation started in this pink line right here. News happened right here, it was all negative, climbed up super heavily. Now it's coming back down. So this is why I was worried about taking the buys. Also, we had the resistance levels marked up there. So it's not like this was a random area where price bounced from. It bounced from the resistance. Also, it bounced from the sessions. All right, so let's see what happens here. We got news right here. I'm going to mark this up as the news candle. Again, right here, news candle. All right, guys. So the waiting game starts again at 7 o'clock right now. We still have a lot of time. We have a whole hour, so I'm pretty sure we'll get at least one entry from now until then. It's really just being patient and waiting for that entry to come to us. This whole week's been kind of all over the place, guys. So don't worry. This isn't a normal occurrence where the market's like this. This is it's just one of those weeks. So I think next week will be a lot better. There's a lot more news next week, so we'll probably get more volatility. This week was kind of just it's one of those weeks. So if you guys have been trading with me for a while, typically, out of the 4 weeks out of the month, there's usually one week that's kind of like off. There's like 4 weeks because week one is going to be NFP, which is last week. You have a lot of volatility. The week following NFP is usually kind of slow, which is this week. Next week is going to be Fed week, so it's going to be picking up again. And then the fourth week is going to be pretty much just a wrap up of the month. So this is normal for the market to be kind of tricky the week after NFP. Usually the second or third week is the tricky week, and then it starts to pick back up. So we'll see. Yeah, Ben Harvey said hopes for a flush. Yeah, right. Barack said, looking at the higher high on your 1 minute chart, I was thinking they'd be interested to push price above it to grab new buy orders. Yeah, I mean, I could have seen that right there, but if price pushed past that level right there, it would have established a new all-time high, bro. So I think that's the kind of the case there. That's why it's a little tricky. That's why I don't trade structure like that. I don't trade price structures of higher highs. I typically try to avoid them because that's usually where a lot of manipulation happens too. And it pretty much lined up perfectly with the sessions. Lined up with the sessions. The thing is, it was already consolidating around the 4-hour resistance and 1-hour level. So a lot of things could have happened from that point. Let's see, Blanc said that the 10-minute daily is currently running right now. Yeah, so if anybody still applies the daily strategy, looks like the 10-minute daily is currently running right now for a sell. So I'll use that as a confluence for us. And for some reason, TradingView has been kind of laggy lately. If you guys have noticed, whenever I go to another time frame or something like that, it takes a while for everything to load up. They're probably going to be doing maintenance over the weekend. It's usually what happens. All right, we have a 1-minute support level right here. It hasn't been established yet, but mark it up. Limit support. Support level. All right, so we'll see what happens here. This is our clean chart. If price breaks through here, this is not going to be the support, of course. So this right here, guys, I wouldn't consider this a V1 pattern. I talked about this during the mentoring session. Typically, the V1 patterns I know they're on the same level, but it has to be like a separate, like this would have to be a green candle right here because price comes down and you're looking for price to push up. So this right here, I wouldn't consider this a V1 pattern. I know it looks like a V1 pattern, but it's not because you're looking for price to come down and then push back up. So you need a green candle here. This here is red. This is just a little, it's just a little, like the data is kind of screwed up here where it ended up being on the same level, which it shouldn't have. Let's see, Nick said that his candle right here on the V1 is actually green. Does anybody have a green candle there for the second candle off the V1? Yeah, Maddie said both of his are red. I don't know what's up with like some people's charts have been like different colors for some reason. Um, but yeah, if it's green, that's how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be yeah, Vimal said his is red. Thanks guys for the input. Cern's is actually green. Randy's red. Yeah, it's just Cern and Nick, it looks like that have a green candle there, which is kind of weird. Yeah, make sure it's on the YM chart and make sure this right here on the bottom says electronic trading hours, not regular trading hours. This was something that Purity mentioned this week. I was so confused why her chart looked different, but she had it set to regular trading hours for some reason. Because it totally changes everything. So if you change it to that, it changes where everything's located. So, I mean, it's all good, guys. It's no big deal. I just want to give you guys a heads up because I'm not looking for any entry here since there's no double body. The double body here isn't exactly the double body that classifies as a V1. It needs to be a double body, but this here should be a little bit higher because if this candle closed here, this thing would have been lower than where it's currently at. Like if you're just using logic. All right. So let's see. Martha is asking, is your news analysis only on high impact news? Not necessarily. I mean, the news should reflect, but where's the other news event at? I swear I marked it up here. Oh, it's right here. Okay. So it doesn't really matter if it's high impact news or low impact news. I just didn't see the second line here. All news should be analyzed. Martha. So like it doesn't matter if it's high impact or low impact. You just want to see if market reacts to it. So like it could be a low impact news and price can still react to it, right? Like a couple months ago we had like gas news, which is low impact. But as soon as the gas news came out, this thing spiked up super heavily. So it doesn't really matter what kind of news it is. You just want to see how price reacts to it. So the news from today was, I mean, it didn't even load up actually. So it didn't even load up for today. So you can't really analyze it unless it loads up, right? So yeah, there's no way to really analyze it because there was no data for it. So it doesn't matter if it's high impact, low impact, medium impact. You just want to see if price reacts to it. So you want to see the news, which is right here. If it's negative, then you want to see price do the opposite, right? So if it's negative news, you want price to push up and then come back down. And then if it's positive, you want to see price manipulate to the downside and then come back up because then you could take the entry from that direction. So it just depends on how price reacts to the news event. Let's see. Yeah, there was a V1 right here. So there's a V1 pattern that came up right here, guys, but it was touching the session, so I wouldn't have taken it. Also, the confluence right here didn't really meet my confluence because I need it to be like if you're to look at the candles and explain how these candles work, When this candle closed right here, this candle is technically not on the same level because this should have been a bit lower. So it should have been red and it closed right here, and this red should have been lower. Because if they're aligned with each other, they just keep moving that direction. So say, for example, you have a red candle that pushes down, right? And say the red candle stops right here. If the red candle drops any further, it's supposed to keep dropping from this line, right? So this right here should have been red, and then this red should have been lower. So it can't be a double body. That's why I can kind of tell that this pattern here wouldn't have met my criteria. But also, I think the biggest thing here is that it was at the session, so I wouldn't have taken the breakout V3 here to begin with. Yeah, exactly. Kevin said V1 to V3 sell, hopefully. So now I'm looking for a V3 now at this point, because we do have a V1 pattern right here. So we got that V1 pattern right there. Now I'm looking for a sell signal and a red candle to follow it. If I can get that, then I'll be looking for a sell here. Now this is a V3 that I'm looking for. We just need price to actually come down. It's kind of flat right now, but we need this here to come down a little bit. All right. Now we wait. Now we wait. Yeah, so Rashid is asking if this would be the actual V3. So depending on what you want to take it as, this can technically be the actual V3. So if you want to take it, you can take it for 30-30, Rashida, if you like. I mean, it's not a bad idea because you think about it, 30-30 is not even that much because the volatility is so high. The ATR is currently 21 right now, 21, 22. It's not super high, but it's higher than normal. Because like typically we would take a 10-30 if it's like 15 ATR, right? And this is probably gonna hit TP right away. So it's just up to preference, guys. If you guys want to take the actual V3 for 30-30, you can. If you want to take it for 10-30, you can do that as well. I think that the 30 might be a little too far for me because I want to get out before I reach this lower low. So for me personally, I'll probably go for the 10-30. Like if this lower low was farther down, I'd have been okay to take it for a bigger push. But since it's not, I'd rather just, because I never know I'm probably gonna get caught in some slippage. I'd rather just get out really quick right there. There's also a pivot scalp coming up right here if anybody's wanted to take that specifically. Pivot scalp, momentum scalp. It's another entry there that you guys can take for a sell. But the candle's just way too big, yeah. That candle's too huge, so I wouldn't take that for I mean, personally, I wouldn't take it for a pivot scalp. All right, so we're just waiting for this candle here to close red. If this candle closes red, this is going to be a breakout V3 and a breakout V3 continuation. Depending on what you guys want to take it as, there's two different opportunities there. If you guys want to take it for a continuation, go for 100 pips. If you want to take it for the actual breakout V3, take it for 300 pips. So just up to preference. Again, you have to wait for the candle to actually close, guys. Be patient. Wait for the candle to close. Don't get in a little too early because this candle can just spike back up at any second. So just make sure you wait for this candle to actually close. Even if you gotta get in later, wait for the candle to close. Got 13 seconds on this candle right here. Let's see if it drops down lower from where it's currently at. And it looks like it's about to close there.
Order filled.
All right. So the volatility is kind of low right now. All right, there we go. Let's push it down. Gotta watch it again.
Order filled.
All right, full TP. There we go. Easy money, guys. See, if you were patient, money right there. Easy. If you guys went for the 300, still running. Easy peasy, Matty, right? You just gotta wait for it, guys. I'm telling you, if you wait for these entries, money's gonna come to you, bro. Like it's like inevitable. Like the probability on this trade was so high. We had the V1 pattern right here. it doesn't matter if the candle is big. I'm taking this trade if it closes red. You guys heard my computer, my laptop said order filled, took the trade right there. Full TP, flat 500. Yeah, solid guys. So, I mean, the trade's still running if you guys are still holding on to it, but again, this is just what I'm trying to reinforce, guys. You don't have to take every single trade. There's like 3 or 4 trades that came up. If you just wait for that 100% trade, your money's going to stack up. I locked in. What did I get on that? Man, I still got slippage. So, okay. My FT1 gave me 1,500. I was supposed to make 2,000 on that trade. For whatever reason, he gave me some slippage, but it is what it is. I'll take it as whatever they want to give me. But I'm happy with the profit, so not really going to complain about that too much. So the funny thing here is that my second FT model gave me 3,000. I don't know what happened with the slippage there. That wasn't even my main account. That was my copier. So it looks like FTMO here is trying to it's weird. My first FTMO gave me 1,500. My second FTMO gave me 3,000. So you balance that out. They technically gave me 2,000 per account. So it's all good. It balanced out. I technically got my full amount. It's just that on my first account. And it's weird because that's my actual account. That's my main account. The copier gave me more. Let's see if there's anything else here. So Sam's asking, is there no time limit for the breakout V3? Yeah, there's no time limit because you're just looking for the first opportunity, right? Because if you're looking for, or actually, so technically, guys, the breakout V3 came up over here, guys. I take that back. The breakout V3 happened right here and it was a loss. I just realized that this was the breakout V3 right here. So this was the actual breakout V3 because we had a green candle following a buy signal action, but we wouldn't have taken it because it was at the sessions. So short answer to your question earlier, Sam, is that there's no time limit for it. It could happen at any time of the day, but this is the actual breakout V3. So this here is only a 100 pip move. This is a continuation. I wouldn't have taken this as a breakout V3. This right here was the actual breakout V3, but you wouldn't have taken it because it was at the sessions. So the breakout V3 for today would have been skipped because it was right at the red flag. It was touching the sessions. So yeah, Craig said not a loss because it was at the sessions. Exactly. You would have skipped that completely. Yeah, thanks for bringing that up because I didn't realize that. I thought this was the actual breakout V3, but this is the continuation because the actual breakout happened right here, which was skipped. So, all right, let me just mark this up real quick. I'll put this in the group. So here are our team profits for the day. You guys locked in some pretty good profits. We have David over here with a total profit of 92.95 for the day. All wins here. We had Cam, total profit of 2,251. Nice work, Cam. Nice. Yeah, he caught it from the top. We have Vince over here, total profit of 555. All wins. Nice work, Vince. We've got Andreas, total profit of 1,426. All wins here as well. Nice work, Andreas. We have Rashida, total profit of 550 for the day. All wins here. Nice work, Rashida. We've got Drew, took his one and done for the day, locked in a total profit of 799 per account. So about well over 2,000 for the day. All wins. Nice work, Andrew. So, all right, other than that, let me post up my profits too. I got a lot of profits to post up because my accounts I got so many accounts now. But all right, so we'll keep looking for another entry here, guys. We're not done trading, but we'll continue looking for, again, a quality entry. So again, this is not going to change, guys. Throughout the rest of the year, all the trades I'm taking are all quality. I'm not taking any random BS trades. I'm taking literally only the trades that I know are where I feel are for sure going to hit, almost 100%. And that's going to be beneficial for you guys so that you guys can just keep stacking up those wins and not have to worry about the trade, right? I think that's the biggest concern with a lot of people is actually, the biggest concern with a lot of people is really just getting greedy. It's okay, Sean gave me one good trade. Let me find another one, try to force another trade. You just stick to the game plan, you guys will be fine. So here is my, let me screenshot my other accounts too real quick. So we can just do it all together. There's no other entries here right now, so don't worry, guys. There's no V1 patterns. There's no nothing at the moment. Man, my copier thing is so long now because I added two more TFF accounts to my copier. So my copier is super long now. You guys can see right now. It's super overextended. Um, right. So there's no other entries for us here, guys, at the moment. Don't worry, you guys are not missing out on anything. There's no V1 patterns. There's no confluences for us to look at here. But anyways, here are my profits for the day so far. So here's my Apex account. I'm thinking about adding on some more Apex accounts. So I think I'm gonna go buy a laptop today. I'm just gonna go buy a gaming laptop so I could just keep stacking my Apex accounts. So I can just get a bunch of funded accounts. I made 500 for the day, just one trade, all wins. But yeah, that's my Apex. And you guys will see my copier here. You guys can see how long it is now. There's so many accounts. 60. This is my FTMO locked in 1,520. This is my main account. And then this is my FTMO number 2 copier locked in 3,020. So it kind of balanced out to 2,000 each. This is my second funded engineer locked in 278. My personal account locked in 960. My TFF locked in 1,362. You can see all these accounts here are the same profit because these are all my TFFs. There's 4 TFFs I have now. These two are in challenge. They're probably gonna get funded soon because if I just keep winning every day, it's gonna be funded like by the end of the week next week. These two are funded. So these are my accounts so far. You guys can see I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9 accounts now. Crazy. Yeah, so those are my profits so far. You guys can see, if I was to add up my profits, here, I'll just add it up real quick so you guys can see. This is just one trade for today. 560, 1520, 3020, 278, 960, 1362, 1362, 1362, 1362. Total profit of 12,000 for the day, right? Just one trade, guys. So you guys can, if you guys can be patient, sit on your hands all session, wait for that one trade, you guys can lock in some pretty good profit. Even if you guys just had one account, that's still like 1,000 or 500 to 1,000, depending on your account size. With just one trade. I'm pretty sure you'd be happy making 1,000 a day, doing little to no work, right? Just hanging out with me on this live session, make $1,000 from just watching me trade, and just being patient. So, patience is gonna pay off, guys. It's, once you guys start to get impatient, that's usually where you start to make mistakes and you start to lose money. So if you can be patient and just focus on 1 or 2 trades a day, it's going to add up. So I'll keep looking for any other opportunities here, but there's just nothing for us to take here at the moment. So 722, let's see if the ATR starts to drop down closer to 8 o'clock, or sorry, closer to 7:30. Usually around 7:30 is the time where the volatility starts to die down. But yeah, I'm just thinking of like the possibilities now because I actually really like Apex. Well, not really Apex as a company, but I like the way that the trades are filled. So you guys heard how it says order filled when I get into the trade, and it says order filled when I get out. So you know for sure when you're out of the trade. It's not kind of like MT4 where it's all quiet. You're like, did it actually close me out? Before it was weird because MT4 used to make noise. Like I remember whenever I hit my TP, it would make that clicking noise, but it doesn't do that anymore. because I like to know for sure when I'm out of the position. All right, so we have a buy signal right here, guys, but there's no V1 pattern. So there's a lower low right here, but there's no double body or double wick. So even if we get a breakout V3 continuation, I wouldn't take it. I typically like to trade in the direction of the trend, so I don't know if I'd take it here anyways, but if it does come up, I'll mark it up for you guys. So if there's a green candle that follows this buy signal right here, this is a breakout V3 continuation, but it doesn't meet my confluence with the V1 pattern. So it's not one that I would personally take. Also, it's going against the trend. So again, it's not one I would take. I would be more inclined to take sells here because it's going the direction of the trend. So yeah, because let's see. So if I have, I'm kind of curious, Andrew, what lot size do you use? Because I saw your profits here. I don't know if I should increase my lot size. You're making 799. I'm making 500 per trade. I don't know if I'm taking too little of a lot size. But let me just do the math. Okay, so if I had 20 accounts, I made 500 each. That's 10,000. I'm cool with that. Yeah, actually, I'm not. I'm okay with taking that. It's like lower risk. So I'm taking a 10 contract. I'm making 500 per trade, and if I just take one trade off like 20 Apex accounts, I would make 10,000. That's crazy. Yeah, per day. This is like just one trade. Actually, I'm fine with it. I'll keep it low risk. It kind of helps with my trade psychology because if I get too greedy and I start upping my lot size, then that's kind of where I kind of screw up too because I'm not used to seeing the bigger profits or the bigger losses. So I'll just stick to my 10 contract. Yeah, exactly. So now I got to go buy a computer. I'm gonna go to the computer store today. I'm gonna go buy a laptop, another laptop. I wish NinjaTrader would work on Mac. I don't understand why it doesn't because everybody uses a Mac now. NinjaTrader is lazy. They don't want to. They don't want to set up update their platform for Mac. So we'll see. Let's see. Vimal said, please post it on your Insta story. Yeah, if I get one today, I'll post it. I'm gonna go look first because I want to get one that's pretty decent. Um, I want to see like, well, after I did some of my research, but I'm not big on computers anymore, so I don't really know exactly what's best and what's not. Gotcha. And you said I did 17 on that one. I have several templates loaded on my Ninja, 10, 15, and 17. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, 17's a max, right? So I'm trying to think. So if you lose a trade with 17, how much of a profit risk is that? I don't know how these lots are or how these contracts are are measured. Gosh, okay, $5 per contract. So 5 times 7 times 100, right? 3,500. That's pretty big. What's the max drawdown? It's like 6,000, right? 5K. Oh shit. Yeah, that's a big risk. I mean, but Drew's trying to just pass, so it makes sense. He's trying to pass, so if he's just trying to pass, then it makes sense. He just wants to get one and done like real quick. I want to work my trade psychology first, so I'm gonna keep it at 10. It's gonna take me longer to pass, but it's fine. All right, we have another possible entry right here, guys. We have a V1 pattern, I believe, right there. And then we have a possible sell signal that's coming up right here as well. Disappeared. Of course it did. Medusa, we have news in 3 minutes. Let me check the calendar real quick. I didn't see any news for today. So I don't see any news on my calendar, Medu. I don't know if you see it on a different, you might be on a different day. Yeah, I don't see any, there's nothing else here left on Friday. Forex Factory or my FX book. Might be a different day that you're looking at. Oh no, yeah, sorry. Yeah, that was Medu thought I said we had news at 7:30. No, we don't have anything. Thankfully, we don't have anything. But yeah, thanks for the heads up because I would have totally missed it if we did. Gotcha. Yeah. So Andrew, yeah, like what he said, Andrew's taking a 17 contract because he wants to pass his evaluation as quick as possible. Then he's gonna go back to 10. I'm just gonna take my time with it. It shouldn't take like realistically, if I was to do here, let's see, because our profit goal is I keep forgetting what the profit goal is. Apex is like kind of weird with their profit goals. The profit goal is 9,000, yeah. So 9,000 divided by 500. You just need 18 good trades. So that could happen within a month, right? So I'm just gonna take my time. I think it's gonna help. It's basically gonna help me really understand, the risk involved with these trades here. Okay, so we have a possible entry right here, guys, for a breakout V3 continuation. Let's see. V1 pattern, breakout V3 continuation right here. Oh, fuck, I missed it. It's too late. I didn't realize the countdown was so close. I don't know if anybody here got into it, but I wasn't even looking at the countdown. I was just looking at the candle and it closed and it's already running. It's probably gonna push down. It's okay. I'm gonna skip this one. Yeah, I'm not gonna FOMO into it, but my bad, guys. I didn't realize that the countdown was so quick. Let's see. So Martha said that the signal didn't close on hers. Nick said it also didn't close on his either. Or sorry, not Nick. iPhone said that. I don't know if anybody else has a signal here. All right, never mind. Let's just skip this. Then there's no signal there. For some reason, it closed on mine. But let me just refresh this. Maybe my chart's just not loaded up properly. Yeah, I don't know what's up with trading with you guys. For some reason, it seems like some people are having it, some people aren't. It's all good. We can take the trade anyways. So I'm hoping this here closes with a buy signal because if it closes with a buy signal, we can get a V1 variation right here. We have the structure right here. So I want this to close with the buy signal. And then if we get a double body or double wick, it might continue to, drop further from there. Yeah, I don't know. And trading has been kind of off. Has been kind of off for this week. Like I mentioned earlier, it's kind of laggy when it loads up the indicators and it loads up the price. And then yeah, I don't know. It's just trading has been kind of weird this week. They're probably gonna do maintenance over the weekend. That's usually what they do, and it fixes everything. Here, let's see over here real quick. The YouTube. So let's see. Gary's asking Sean, is TFT a good prop firm? FT wasn't taking any more US customers. I'm not sure with TFT. I like when they first started, they were considered very scammy, but I don't know if they've changed. I know they're one of the bigger prop firms now, so maybe they've changed the way that they operate. I remember back like when they first came out, their spreads and the execution times weren't good, so it was like kind of impossible to scalp with them. So I can't say for sure. I've never used TFT. They were actually on my list for funding companies to kind of do some research on because the whole situation with FTMO. But yeah, I can't say. I've never used them before, so I don't have any personal opinion on TFT. They might be better now, though. Chase is asking, with your strategy, sorry, I'm trying to read this. Oh, okay, you fixed it. All right, Chase. So Chase said, with your strategy, do you care if a prop firm is equity-based or balance-based drawdown? No, it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter because we barely lose. We're more of our focus is on consistency and win ratio, right? So it doesn't really matter if it's equity based or balance based. It doesn't matter because we're not losing. Like, our win rate for last year was super high. So it doesn't, like, if you look at let's pull up the stats from last year. So it doesn't really matter if it's equity or balance based, because if you look at my results here from 2023, I never have like back-to-back losses, right? Well, maybe I have like one, but either way, like if you look over here, there are like a bunch of wins. So it doesn't really affect me. I'll have a bunch of wins, I'll have like one loss, and then just a bunch more wins to recoup that bunch of wins here. Like a lot of these losses right here were my fault though. They were because I was doing FOMO trades, and I'll have a whole like month with no losses. So for me, it doesn't matter. If you're trading a strategy that has a low win rate strategy, like if you're trading like something with a high RR and you lose a lot of trades, it's going to be extremely difficult for you to have that trailing drawdown. So I think for Apex isn't really I don't think it's really feasible for those type of people who trade something with a low win rate, because if you lose like two or three trades, you're gonna yeah, if you take two or three trades, you're just gonna blow your account, right? With Apex, it's almost impossible. Like I feel like a lot of these companies like Apex or Top Step, like these futures companies, they're based on scalping. And scalping like quick in and out entries, because you have to have a high win rate to really do well with these types of companies. With FTMO, it's different because you have a daily drawdown and you have a max drawdown, so you can manage your risk to basically be able to take a bunch of losses and then have that one win to recoup all of it. But with certain prop firms like the one that you're mentioning, Chase, I know what you're talking about, because with Apex, it's a trailing drawdown, right? So you can't really lose too many trades. If you lose like two or three trades, you're kind of screwed. Your account's done. Um, but if you have a high win rate and you lose like one trade and you win three, you're going to recoup it over time. So for me personally, I don't really care if I don't care about the drawdown, because I don't really go into drawdown very much. And my risk is calculated. So like right now, if I was to lose a trade, I'd probably lose like $1,000, right? Which is nothing. I could lose like a bunch of those. And my profit's 500. So that's why for me it's different. Not everybody trades the way we trade. That's why we do very well with prop firms, because we stay under the radar and we try to get in and out very quickly with like the low hanging fruit. So high win rate, moderate profit, not big profit, but moderate profit, and it adds up by the end of the week, the end of the month, and at the end of the year. Um, let's see. KJ is asking, Sean, do you still feel Apex might be scammy? I mean, I don't know. I haven't gotten paid out yet. So I'll let you know once I get paid out. But there's people in our group who've been paid out. So people that I trust, like people that actually know. CT here has been paid out 4 times already. I think he posted it in the group somewhere over here. So CT is one of our admins here. He posted his payouts. So like, and I trust him because he's not going to post fake payouts, right? I don't even know where he posted it, but he posted it somewhere over here. Where is he at? I think it's probably over here. Yeah, so CT over here, he's been in the group if you guys have been in my group for a while, CT has 4 accounts at 150K. He locked in a 2,750 payout on January 4th, and he's gotten his payout already. So I don't think they're scammy. They're harder to pass, that's for sure. I think Apex is harder to maintain. So I think Apex is harder to maintain because they're a futures broker, right? They're not a forex broker or anything like that, or they're a futures funding company, not a forex one. So they just operate things differently, and you have to be really good at trading to stay funded with Apex. That's the thing. So yeah, I don't think they're scammy at all. I'll see when I get paid out, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get paid out. I'm also not asking for like huge payouts, right? My profits here are like a couple $100. So my payout's probably gonna be like a couple $1,000. It's not gonna be like 100,000. So I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get paid out. I feel like the people who get trouble with payouts are the people who make like crazy profits, like 100K payout. Because then that starts to raise red flags. It's like, how did this guy make 100K? Did he cheat? Did he use the EA? Something like that. All right, let's see. So Maddie said, so I see a lot of you guys here are talking about Sorry, I'm just getting lost over here with seems like some of you guys here took a trade, but I don't see any trades here myself. There's no V1 here for myself, so I don't see any V1s here or any V3 breakouts. But it looks like some people took a trade. Camo said TFF says no lot size maximum, must mean update. Yeah, because TFF used to yeah, I don't know, might be an update, Camo. I mean, if that's the case, I'll just merge my accounts instead of having 4 accounts. But the last time I used TFF, they capped it at 100. Like you can try to take 200, but it's not going to execute the trade. It'll just take it at two. Like if you try to take a 200 lot trade, it'll automatically take 100 lot. That's pretty much what was happening with me. So I had a 200K account. It took me forever to pass uh because like I wasn't able to take the bigger lot sizes. So it took me double time to pass. See, iPhone mark this up here. Oh yeah, okay. So I just realized for you guys who didn't get a sell signal for me, like for example, I got a sell signal here, right? For the other people who didn't get a sell signal, which is the iPhone and a couple other people, they were able to take that trade there. I wasn't able to see it because I didn't have the sell signal because this came up for me right here for some reason. But for you guys here who saw it, nice work on catching that trade, guys. I mean, it was a double top too. So it was a breakout V3 continuation bouncing off a double top right here. So double top, and then it came down for that breakout V3. And it looks like that's what Maddie and a couple of you guys here took. So nice work, guys, on catching that trade there. I didn't catch it because I didn't have it on my chart, but looks like you guys here did catch it and you guys locked in some profit. So nice work, guys. Yeah, Sisu said it shows up on his after. Let me refresh my page real quick. Nah, mine's still not there. But nice work, guys. Yeah, Albert said he took the V3, held it through the drawdown, but he got out early. Nice work, Albert. So solid profits there. Sisu said, yeah, 1,400 to 1,500 per account per day with a consistency rule on a 150K. On passing is a loose rule, but you'll get your payout. Okay, well, that's solid. Yeah, exactly. KJ said Apex is Apex Trading Institute by Martin Darrell. Yeah, I didn't realize they were the same company. So they've been around for a long time. Apex Trading Institute, they've been around for a really long time. When I first started trading, I was actually going to get mentored by that guy, Martin Darrell, because I wanted to trade futures. Like a long time ago, like 10 years ago, I was going to get mentored by him, but I never went through the program. So I think Apex is pretty legit. I mean, their website is kind of like bootleg. If you guys have ever been on the Apex website, it's super bootleg. Like, let me see if I could go to the website right now. That's kind of what threw me off because it just looks like a scammy website, but it's run by somebody who's actually been in the space for a while. Like, you go over here to Apex Fund, you're like, what kind of website is this? With the weird font and like these bootleg pictures. And like, there's so many options here. When I first got on this page, I was like, I didn't know what to do. I was like, I got to talk to Maddie, Sisuk, and CT because I don't know what any of this stuff means. The thing that's funny about this though is that once you guys sign up, they'll send you like they'll send you directions on how to install Tradeovate, and they're like super strict. They're like, you got to follow these rules. If you don't follow these rules, you're gonna pay like 600 a month on fees or whatever. And I'm like, they could have made this onboarding process a lot simpler. But yeah, if you guys ever sign on to, yeah, exactly. C6 said it's a generational thing. Like, I'm pretty sure the people who run Apex are pretty old. So like they're kind of grumpy. Not that old people are grumpy, but these guys are kind of grumpy. You can tell from their emails. They're like, yeah, if you don't follow these directions, you're not getting a refund. And I'm like, okay. Like they make it super clear that you're not going to get a refund. Like if you don't follow all these rules, you're not going to get a refund. We're not going to change your account. Um, yeah, they're like super, super strict. So when you guys do sign up for Apex, just make sure that you guys that you guys follow directions. So here's an update in the group too, guys. I've updated the website a little bit with funny companies because obviously we can't use certain companies anymore. So here's the here's the course, guys. This is what the course looks like. I've kind of updated some things here. So recommended futures brokers, TradeObate, TradeStation. Of course, I've used TradeObate and TradeStation. TradeObate is usually what I use now. So this is what's recommended. Forex broker, forex.com. And then for the funding companies, I changed it a little bit. So I added Apex Trader Funding here because I'm using them now. True Forex Funds, of course. The links are all right here if you guys want to sign up. If you use this link here on the Apex Trader Funding, there's a discount. So I think it's like 71% off, which is super cheap. I mean, so for example, right here, it's 71% off. If you buy this, so I have a 150K account. Normally it would be 317 a month, right? I'm only paying 91. So if you guys want to open an account and just try it out and play around with it, it's 90 bucks. 90 bucks to try out and get a 150K account. I think it's worth it. So the easiest challenge to pass is going to be 25K. So this is going to be the easiest challenge to pass, but this one here is going to be the best long term. Because of course, when I'm funded, I don't want to have 20K, 25K. I want to have 150K. These up here are kind of like, I wouldn't recommend doing the 300 or 250K. These two right here these are like sucker accounts because your drawdown is dumb. It just doesn't make any sense. Like you're not going to use 27 contracts. Your drawdown is 6,500. I think the 250K, this is just it's for marketing. And so people will go and just pay the 500 bucks and then blow the account. Same with the 300. I think 150K is good because, so for example, here, if you have 150K times 20, because you can do 20 accounts, you'll have, I can't read this number anymore. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, you have 3 million in funding. I couldn't even read the number. The number is so big. So you'd have 3 million in funding. That's my goal. So I can get 20 accounts, I get 3 million in funding. So yeah, iPhone, just go on the website. Or here, I'll post a link over here. Let me just copy this real quick. Copy link. So you could use that link right there in the Zoom. So if you guys are on the Zoom, go to that link right there. And then once you go to the next page, so go to this next page first, TradeObate 150K. You click on that. And then right here, oh shit, where did I put that? Sorry. When you go down to I think it's the next page. Yeah, you'll go to the next page and you'll put your code is saved now. On payment, use code, save now. And then it'll take off 71%, which is, it's a lot. It's a lot. All right, guys, so back to the charts over here. There's nothing for us to take here. I don't really see anything else happening, so we're probably not going to have anything else to take for today. There's a possible breakout V3 continuation pattern that's setting up. It's not one that I would take because there's no V1 pattern right here to provide my confluence that I'm looking for. So there's no entries here that I would take myself personally, but this here is setting up for a breakout V3 continuation. So if you guys are looking to take that, there's your setup, but I wouldn't take it because for one, the trend is bearish. For two, there's no V1 variation pattern indicating a reversal is happening. And for three, it just doesn't line up properly. So that's here, I'll post it up over here real quick. All right, let's see. Camo said marked up a 30-point stop loss right above the London high, 4-hour resistance for a sell, played out nice. I'll keep looking for setups like that. It fell just like he said. Yeah. So Camo here actually took the sell from the 4-hour resistance zone. So he saw the 4-hour resistance zone here. There's a lot of reason for price to come down from this point. Camo entered this for a sell. And he rolled this down to full TP right there. Nice work, Camo. So smooth work right there, smooth move. And that played out perfect. All right, back to our charts. There's still nothing for us here. Okay, there might be another V1 pattern right here, guys. Actually, there is a V1 pattern. So there's a double body, sell signal right here. If this sell signal closes, this could be setting up for a breakout V3 continuation to the downside. So this is one that I would maybe take because it doesn't meet my criteria. We need that sell signal there. And we'll see where this goes. But yeah, guys, if you guys go on the course, I've kind of updated the funding stuff. I'll be updating a lot of the videos here too once everything is uploaded to the YouTube. So, all right, we have a pending sell signal here. It's kind of choppy and it's bouncing around. The candle's moving a bit blocky. If this here doesn't close with the sell signal, then I'm probably going to be done for the day. Because at this point, the candles look super blocky. And yeah, they don't look like anything that I really want to risk. So I'll continue following it, but I'm probably not going to take the entry anymore. Just by looking at how these candles are moving, they're not moving very smoothly. And it looks like it's providing opportunity for a lot of fake outs. Because this right here faked out. This wasn't an entry that I would have taken, but it's still faked out. Price came up, faked out, came right back down. And it's getting too close to this low. If we had more space here, so if we had more space right here, between the entry and this lower low, I would have been okay with taking it. But I think what's going to happen here is you're going to get a pending sell signal for like the next 10 minutes. It's just going to keep coming up, disappearing, come up, disappear, and it's just never going to close. And then by the time it hits 8 o'clock, it's going to be too late to take entry. So let's see. KJ said, I see they have a reset option on accounts. Does that mean if you lose your account within the 30 days, you can just take the challenge again by resetting it? So I think it's similar to Top Step, KJ. So you still pay the monthly fee, but you pay an extra whatever $100 to reset it. So like say for example, you blow the account within the 30 days, you can reset it, but then once those 30 days are up, like from your initial payment, you still get charged again the $90. So it's $90 to keep your account active, and then it's $100 to reset it. I learned that the hard way with Top Step because they charged me twice, and I'm like, why did you charge me twice? And they said, oh, because you have to pay to keep it active, and then you have to pay for the reset if you want the reset. The resets is, well, at this point, if that happens to you, I would just get rid of the account because with a discount for Apex, you get a huge discount. So you're only paying $90 anyways. Yeah, exactly. Madhu said, which is why they say sometimes it's cheaper to just get a new account. Exactly, 100%. That's why, like right now, you might as well just blow the account. If you're going to blow the account, just start a brand new one. Like blow the account, delete that account, and then get a brand new one for $90 because it's cheaper than getting the reset. I think the reset's like $100. But yeah, guys, if you guys want to, if you guys want to sign up for Apex, I think the 71% sale ends at the end of this month. So you got to do it by the end of this month. So again, yeah, just go on the course. So go to the K2 website, k2trades.com, log on to the free access or whatever it may be. And then go to module 1.7 with the funded companies. I have a code here for True Forex Funds too. It's also discounted. So just keep that in mind. True Forex Funds has another discount going on too, guys. It's 20% off. So if you guys click on this link here, it'll take you to True Forex Funds and it's a 20% off discount. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys got that email. They didn't waste any time kind of attacking FTMO with the US regulations. All right, so again, guys, there's another possible entry over here for the breakout V3 continuation. I'm probably going to sit out on this though, because like I mentioned, there's a pending signal that came up for a while and it finally closed when we least expected it. At this point, I think there's a lot of opportunity for fake outs to happen. So I'm going to hold off on this entry here. If you guys want to take it, I'll mark it up, but I'm going to hold off on it. I'm happy with my profits for the day and I don't feel the need to force any more trades, obviously moving forward. Vimal's asking, is there not a one-time payment then monthly? So it's a monthly payment until you get funded. So it kind of forces you to like not screw around and actually pass the challenge, right? Because if you don't, you're just going to have the account sitting there. So there's no entry here, guys. The red candle didn't come up, so I'm going to close that. So with Apex, you'll pay like $90 every month, which is cheaper than a challenge. So if you pay a challenge on FTMO, you're paying a lot more because like if you get a 200K account on FTMO, it's like $1,000, right? So realistically, you could pay $90 for like a whole year. You could have basically a whole year to pass Apex, and it'll still be cheaper than FTMO. So Just just keep that in mind. All right, guys, it's 7:53 right now. The entry here didn't close. I think I'm done for the day. If there's any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, we will wrap this up for the day. So let me see. What I got to do still is I still have to post up my individual profits. So I'm going to do that right now. If you guys want to put your questions in the chat, feel free. I'm going to take individual screenshots of my accounts. So, all right, let's see. So with MC4, MC4 is lagging right now. You got some more profits over here from Eunice. Eunice locked in a total profit of 729 for the day. Nice work, Eunice. We have Alicia, total profit of 385 on her first account, and a total profit of 837 on her second account. Nice work, Alicia. We got Madhu, total profit of 1,057 for the day. All wins here. We got Martha, total profit of 375. Great work, Martha. We have Andrew over here, of course, total profit is 799. And let's go over to my profits. So I'm going to go ahead and take my individual screenshots, and then I will wrap this up soon. So if there's any questions, guys, feel free to put them in the chat. I'll answer whatever questions you guys have. I probably have the answer to it, but I'll try if I don't. But yeah, just put your questions in the chat, and then we will, if we're done with the questions, we'll wrap this up for the day. I'm just taking individual screenshots of my accounts right now so that you guys can see what I locked in for the day. All right, my personal account. Yeah, and just seeing like a lot of people succeed with Apex just convinces me even more that this is probably going to be the next phase in funding companies. I think with FTMO, I know their problem is probably going to force them to create a new platform. So I think FTMO might create a new platform for just futures trading for US traders. So it might be like FTMO US only, and then it's going to be like futures trading on like Tradovate. So if that's the case, I'm going to add some more accounts to my copy, right? So all right, let me see. We got this here. Add this on over here. All right, so here are my individual screenshots of my profits for the day. So we have my funded engineer locked in 560. This is my main FTMO account. You guys can see the green strip. I locked in 1,520. Here's my second FTMO copier locked in 3,000. Here is my second funded engineer, total profit of 278. This is my personal account locked in 690. My TFF locked in 1,400. Second TFF, 1,400. Third TFF, 1,400. And lastly, my fourth TFF, 1,400. So I'm okay with having 4 accounts. It's on my copier anyway, so it's not a big deal, but it's kind of annoying having a ton of accounts to follow. But all right, so Jamal, we'll see you back here on Monday. See you, William. See you then. See you, Madhu. Have a great weekend. You too. And Sisu, we'll see you back then as well. So, all right, guys, I think that's it for all the questions. If there's any other questions that you guys have, feel free to reach out to me on Discord. Otherwise, have a great weekend, guys. Be safe, get some rest, and we'll be back here on Tuesday. Yeah, thanks, William. So Monday's a holiday. There's no live trading on Monday. We're going to be wrapping it up and coming back on Tuesday. So, all right, guys, enjoy your rest. Have fun. Do whatever you need to over the weekend. And I'll see you guys back here on Tuesday for market open.